Hello, you've caught me playing, you've caught me playing Fallout 4. This thing's really cool, isn't it?
Yes, it is, not only as a novelty piece of collectible plastic, but also as a handy visual metaphor for the distracting nature of video game open worlds. Because sometimes they're so big, so beautiful and rich and full of things to do that aren't the thing you're supposed to be doing, we can't help but gaily wander down the path of procrastination.
Here are 7 video game open worlds, too distracting for their own good.
We'll start with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, a gorgeous fantasy land of medieval architecture, sweeping natural vistas, and enough side quests to bury Novigrad in waypoints. Go and find Ciri, says the main story quest, pointing you down a road lined with glittering distractions like Gwent and gangs of people wanting their heads chopped off and just overall stop and stare prettiness.
Often you can be playing The Witcher 3 for upwards of 5 hours before realising you've made no progress other than the fact your silver sword is now in urgent need of repair after cleaving through umpteen drowners.
And that's just incidental detail. The side quests in The Witcher 3 are so unique and narratively rich, they can often feel like entire story arcs in themselves and take anywhere from 2 to 10 hours to complete. So yeah, no idea where you are, Ciri. My advice is stay still for now, because this sunset isn't going to sail into itself, is it?
Next up, we've got an open world so beautiful and enticing it hooked Nathan into achieving his one and only platinum trophy, which is even more surprising when you consider it's a game about cars.
Burnout Paradise was a delirious burst of originality when it thundered onto PS3 in 2008, offering a vast open world playground and an exhaustive garage of slick motors in which to explore it. The genius of Paradise City was how it welded all its components, races, discovering secret routes, smashing through billboards, even a seamless online mode, into one perfectly formed open world body. You could be driving at 100 and silly miles per hour down a busy highway, spy the telltale blue glow of lights that signalled a stunt jump, veer off at the last minute, rip through a cinematic leap at top speed, land, and continue on your merry, although definitely illegal, way.
Burnout Paradise encouraged you to get distracted, like some beautiful automotive list feature with links to other, even more irresistible list features dotted all over the place. Bloody list features.
And you can't not click them, can you? The map of Paradise City positively sparkled with waypoints and side activities, and so you sped from one to the next, screeching through a game with the brains of an engineering scholar and the attention span of a bored toddler, which I guess is why it was a perfect match for Nath.
The attention span bit, not the brains.
Batman Arkham Knight. I mean, for goodness sake, here's the initial distraction right in front of you. All I did for the first hour was perch on rooftops looking cool and sharing obnoxiously pretty screenshots on Twitter just to let everyone know I had the game a couple of days before it came out.
At least another 20 followers for this one.
When I finally managed to tear myself away from my favourite pastime of making moody lighting play over Batman's cowl, I hit the second distraction, making moody lighting play over Batman's cape as he swooped around Gotham like the shiny, rubber-clad god of gadgets and frowns.
Also, Gotham lives in a permanent state of either it's raining or it's just rained, which means the water effects on his cape look...
Then there's the actual game itself, which accelerates through story objectives, side missions, and random bouts of punching with the speed, grace, and intensity of a piping hot Christopher Nolan action sequence. Jump over this thing, beat up these goons, detect the hell out of this crime scene. Oh yeah, and Riddler's done some more trophies, Azrael wants some training, Nightwing's tracking some stuff I can't remember, but he's totally in the game, and Firefly's doing that thing where he flies and has fire. You know, just if you've got a second.
And then, just when you think Arkham Knight couldn't get any more distracting, you find this.
Skyrim. Have you ever managed to walk from A to B in Skyrim without stopping for a little look at C, D, E, H, M, P, S and X first? And then when you do finally get to B, you can't remember why the hell you put a custom waypoint marker on it in the first place. Skyrim excels at this. The in-game HUD is fairly clean, so it doesn't do that thing other games do where side quests essentially dance naked in front of you, honking horns and twirling ribbons with "Do me, I'm optional" emblazoned across them in golden ink. No, in Skyrim you'll be riding through the landscape and maybe come across a house by the side of the road.
A nondescript house, nothing special, maybe a bit of loot under the bed. So in you go.
3 hours later, you're up to your leathery orc balls in a meandering side quest of treachery, skooma smuggling, and sneaking through countless caves, shooting stealthy arrows into bandits, all voiced by the same actor. And that's the beauty of Skyrim. There's often no warning you're about to jump into a side quest the size of the moon. They just sort of happen, and that city you were travelling to or weapon you planned on crafting, lost on the winds of adventure.
That is, of course, if you can actually get past the menu screen. The menu screen that plays that theme tune on an infinite loop.
Yeah, at 5 it's Grand Theft Auto 5 because you can't not include a game where in one sitting you can play tennis, rob banks, walk along the beach, ride a jet ski, steal a plane, go on a murder spree and take a selfie with the corpse of a man you've just killed in a strange self-made taxi minigame that we definitely don't need to talk about. But it's not just the endless activities that make mucking about in GTA 5's world so time-sapping. For me, the biggest distraction in Los Santos is Los Santos itself. Just existing inside the sun-drenched satirical state is enjoyable. No mayhem, no carnage, no swearing, just calmly driving through the countryside. Guilty pleasure pop pumping out the stereo, the busy, pulsing city and orange brews on the horizon.
Beautiful.
2004, who remembers it? Me neither. Basically nothing happened except for Spider-Man 2 on PS2, a game we all knew was going to be rubbish because it was a movie tie-in, and movie tie-ins sucked. My grandma bought it for me for Christmas though, because that's what well-intentioned relatives do, and to my surprise and utter delight, the game was bloody amazing.
I can't remember anything about the story really, because all I did as soon as I was let loose inside New York was swing about doing whatever a spider can.
And that included leaping off the Empire State Building, swooshing through skyscrapers like a Sam Raimi stunt shot, swooshing through some more skyscrapers, and yeah, some more swooshing. You didn't get bored of it. You were Spider-Man and you felt like Spider-Man, and if that's not the biggest distraction ever, then I don't know what is.
Our final entry this week is, well, if it isn't Golden Joystick Award loser Delsin Rodent.
And the winner of Gaming Personality of the Year, PewDiePie.
You did what? You stole the Critics' Choice Golden Joystick awarded to Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Well, I'm going to have to include them on this list now, aren't I, by way of an apology. Go and sort yourself out, for goodness sake. The last entry on our list this week is Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, a game full of wonderful distractions.
Distractions like extracting sheep and bears and then making your own zoo at Mother Base. Distractions like customising your own Mother Base. Distractions like putting an entire mission ranking in jeopardy just because you have to collect that 80s music cassette they've got blaring right in the middle of umpteen enemy patrols. Distractions like calling in supply drops on a guard's head. Distractions like calling in a truck on a guard's head, or using your cardboard box as an impromptu sand sledge, or strapping C4 to an enemy patrol just to see what happens. That happens.
The Phantom Pain is essentially an enormous toy box. It wants you to get distracted, and if Metal Gear wants me to do something, then who am I to argue?
Or using your bionic arm to electrocute people, or standing on a cliff and soaking up the open beauty of it all, or stripping down to your bare chest and running around. So, 7 video game open worlds too distracting for their own good. Let us know if you can think of any more in the comments. Like this video so I can be let out of the Access basement for half an hour every Tuesday. Subscribe for more list features every Friday. And download our Access PS4 app so you can watch them on your big telly in the lounge and really annoy your family. Thanks for watching.